What's up, everybody? It's Gomlet, and welcome back to another Magic Arena draft. Today will be a ranked core set 2019 draft because that is what is on the ranked drafts, and ranked drafts require gold and not gems. So, sorry to anybody who wanted to see more Ravnica Allegiance drafts from me. There's plenty of people doing them if you want to check them out. But until then, I do have one traditional draft entry thanks to a friend, but they want me to stream it, so I will be streaming another Ravnica Allegiance draft, and I will put the VOD up onto YouTube in a bit. So I will have another Ravnica Allegiance traditional draft up on YouTube in a couple days. But until then, to tide us all over, let's just play a ranked draft. So this pack is not particularly great. I like Skyrider Patrol a lot, but taking multicolored cards in the first pick is generally a little bit frowned upon because it locks you in more than any kind of monocolored card. Goblin Trashmaster is indeed trash. Mirror Image is cool, but I don't think I've ever seen Mirror Image do anything that insane. Rise from the Grave as well is cool, and all of these commons are pretty average. I think my favorite of these commons is probably just Colossal Dreadmaw, which is kind of lame. Neonate can be really good in a life gain deck as well. I think I am just going to go deep, just go ahead and pick the Skyrider Patrol immediately and hope not to just get cut out of green-blue, but we will see. Heroic Reinforcements is really, really good in the red-white deck. There's a very strong, aggressive Boros deck in this set with cards like Viashino Pyromancer and Heroic Reinforcements. Lich's Caress is also very good. It is removal and it gains you some life so that you can get back into the game if your opponent's been very aggressive. Sift is also quite good. Omen Speaker is quite good. So this is a pretty hard pick, because I like Sift and Omen Speaker a lot, and they fit with our colors, but at the same time, Heroic Reinforcements and Lich's Caress are both very powerful cards. I would say these are probably more powerful than either of these, but these are both just don't go with our first pick at all. So, yeah, this is going to be a difficult pick for me. I think I don't really want to play the red-white deck today, even if Heroic Reinforcements might be the right pick. So I think for me, I'm going to narrow it down to the blue cards or the Lich's Caress. And man, I think I'm going to actually go with Omen Speaker, which there might be a lot of contention about this pick because Sift is a more powerful effect in blue, but I love Omen Speaker so much. It gets out there and it stops early stops like 2-mana 2/1s and stuff like that, or 2/2s, and it lets you scry to set up your next draws. I feel like this card's very good. So I'm going to pick up an Omen Speaker. There's a second Heroic Reinforcements. Well, that feels bad. I could have picked Heroic Reinforcements and then got another Heroic Reinforcements, and then we would have just been in it. It would have been it would have been Boros time. But no good black cards, so not too sad about that Lich's Caress right now. In terms of what there is for us in blue-green, there's Elvish Rejuvenator, which is pretty good, but I don't have anything to ramp into yet, and I don't really know if I'm needing to be ramping into stuff. There's also Essence Scatter, which is always good. And there's a Bristling Boar if I just want a aggressive creature. Once again, I'm just going to play it safe. Don't know if it's the right pick, but I think I will pick up a Essence Scatter. Again, picking Essence Scatter over the Elf because I don't really have anything to ramp into yet, so it's possible that I just go low to the ground and just, like, top my curve with Skyrider Patrol and a bunch of 4-mana stuff. Maybe have a bunch of Centaur Coursers and stuff like that. So there's a Ghost Form, which I've seen be good, but I don't think is actually that great of a card. There's Aviation Pioneer, another card that is very good at stopping opponents' aggressive starts, so I might be inclined to just pick that. I think the pick here for me is going to be between the two 3-mana cards. Rock's Oracle I don't find that exciting. He does draw a card which replaces himself, which is, like, the opportunity cost of running him isn't that bad, but at the same time, he dies to most creatures that are going to be on the board at that time. Even if they just play a 2-mana 2/2, this guy's not going to do very much without Pump Spells or Talons of Wildwood or something like that. I think I am going to take the Aviation Pioneer here. I just really like cards that stop your opponent from hitting you, because I might be wrong, but I feel like the Boros deck is the strongest deck in this format, and I lose to it a lot. So I want to have all the defense for that I can. So this pack, I could pick up a Rox Oracle. I could also pick up a Thornhide Wolves, which I think is actually better. Yeah, it doesn't draw you a card, but being a 4/5 versus a 4/2 is insane. Like, 5 toughness is really, really hard for a lot of decks to deal with, unless they just have, like, flat-out removal. But yeah, this is going to win combat most of the time. The card doesn't look that exciting, but I think it is good. There's also a Salvager of Secrets, which can be a good card. In a more controlling deck, we can pick up an Essence Scatter with it. We could also pick up a Cancel just to have more counter spells, which is cool as well. So this is kind of a hard pick. It's kind of just like, what do we want to roll with? I think Skyrider Patrol gets a lot better with some large creatures to put counters on. So I do want to get some at some points, but at the same time, Colossal Dreadmaw's in this set, and I don't think the bots pick it too insanely highly, so we can just hope to get some Colossal Dreadmaws to top off our curve instead of the Wolves. Yeah, I feel like I see counterspells go pretty late, though, so I'm not too worried about the cancel. So I'm just going to pick up the Wolves here to make sure I have something top-end. And there's a Colossal Dreadmaw. However, there's also an Omen Speaker, and I love that card, like, an insane amount. So this is a really hard pick for me, between Omen Speaker and Dreadmaw. There's also Anticipate, which is worth mentioning. That card is not terrible. I have an Omen Speaker and an Aviation Pioneer early, so I think I'll pick up a Dreadmaw. Could get a Blanchwood Armor, which is definitely not great unless you're mono green, but it can still be spooky. Probably not going to play it. Probably not going to play the Scholar of Stars either, to be honest. So maybe I just take something that I might end up playing if I randomly end up in another color. I mean, Hired Blade's okay. That's pretty much it. All the rest of these cards are like, this is mediocre, and the rest of these cost double in their color, and they're mediocre. So it's like a Hired Blade, a Blanchwood Armor, or a Scholar of Stars, and all of these I'm pretty unlikely to play. I guess I'll pick up a Blanchwood Armor because it's like possible that I swap into just mono green if things go well. Ooh, I really like Ghirapur Guide. I like this card a lot. There's also a Woodland Stream for mana fixing, so there's an argument for that, but I'm just going to pick up the Ghirapur Guide. So Ghirapur Guide is a really good way to end the game when you have giant fatties like Thornhide Wolves and Dreadmaw. Because it is possible that your opponent just ends up with a lot of like random leftover early game creatures that you need to get through. I think I'm going to take the Greenwood Sentinel here. I like it more than the Highland game. 2 toughness matters a lot. It also has Vigilance. So I'll pick him up. I could pick up a Talons or a Daggerback Basilisk. I'm very rarely a fan of Talons of Wildwood, but I see a lot of people run it very often, so I mean it has to be at least okay. I probably really undervalue that card, but I'm just going to pick up the Basilisk. Don't feel like getting fancy with some Talons. This pack is bad. Probably not going to play any of these cards. I guess I'll pick up a... Does it really matter? Pick up an Epicure. So it's Talons or Ghost Form. Both of the cards are cards that I've seen run, and I've seen them do some pretty scary things, but not a fan of either of them that much. I think I'm actually just going to pick up Talons here. Just really not a fan of Ghost Forming. So here, another pack. None of these matter. We'll pick up a... You know what, I'll go ahead and just pick up a Knight's Pledge now, because it's possible that we get, like, the green-white enchantment guy. And want to try to move into that. So here we have a Cleansing Nova. Card is very good. Wraths are always great and limited, because your opponent's just never going to play around them, and you can just sandbag some cards in your hand. So I guess I could try to swap into green-white and just drop a Wrath in here. So that's pretty good. Meteor Golem's pretty good, and you can play it in any deck you end up with. Aviation Pioneer is a good card to stop early game threats. Dwindle is basically just removal, and there's a Dreadmaw. So there's a lot of picks here. If I do swap into white, I don't really have anything else I'm swapping into white for, so I don't... Probably just not gonna do that out. So I think it's going to be Aviation Pioneer, Dwindle, or Dreadmaw. And we don't have any just straight up removal yet. I guess we have an Essence Scatter, so... I could also pick the Meteor Golem. I mean, Meteor Golem and Dwindle are both basically just removal. Meteor Golem is a lot of mana, though, so I'm going to want to pick up some ramp cards if I toss them in here. Yeah, I mean... I guess I'll go with the Meteor Golem. Palaka Worm, that's nice. Druid of the Horns is exciting. Same with Psychic Corrosion. These are both interesting cards that I like to build around sometimes. But Palaka Worm's just insane. I don't think that there's any justification in taking anything else. Divination as well is pretty good, but it's Palaka Worm. I think we gotta take that boy. So we can take a Druid of the Cowl to help us ramp into these cards, which I like that a lot, but there's also a Rabid Bite, which is removal if we have a large creature out, or if we have a Daggerback Basilisk out. So Rabid Bite's very good. We definitely want to pick that up, but at the same time, my curve's already getting pretty high, so I don't want to miss the chance to get some ramp cards. So... this could be the wrong pick. I probably should just take the Rabid Bite, but I'm going to take the Druid here just to make sure I get at least one or two ramp cards. So here there's an Oakenform, an Aviation Pioneer, or a Gearper Guide. And we are starting to get pretty heavily green, so if I can just keep taking green cards, it's possible I get to use this Blanchwood Armor and just go ham. So I think I will take the Gearper Guide here. Just have a second one of that, because now I am getting like more large creatures to try and get through. They both have trample though, so it's not that important to have the Gearper Guide's ability, but still fun. I could take a Centaur Courser. Neither of these blue cards are insanely exciting. Disperse is okay. Root Snare is just bad, so I'm going to take the Centaur Courser. Looks like we're moving into mono green, because that's another Blanchwood Armor. Again, a little bit of a hard pick, just because Titanic Growth is there, and that card tends to be really good. Tends to just be like, kill any creature that's attacking or blocking, because it's very hard for a creature to be able to win combat against anything that's been given +4/+4. So it is quite a good card, but I think we pick up the Blanchwood Armor and we try to move back into mono green and just go crazy. So let's take these blue cards out. So we got 12 cards in the deck, so we need to pick up a lot more playables, but it's going really good so far, because both of these are very playable in this deck. It's going to be a pretty hard pick. I guess I have 1, 2, 3, 4... oh god, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 3-drops already, so I might just want another Dreadmaw, but I really, really like ramping. And I can hopefully pick up another Dreadmaw next pack. Because the thing you have to think about is, while it only looks like we have like 3 massive threats, we technically have 5 massive threats, because we have this, 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 and then both of these Blanchwood Armors basically on any creature is going to make them have like at least +4/+4 in most games. Like, we basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 massive threats already, so we don't really need the Dreadmaw as much as I do want to pick another up, so I will pick up a Rejuvenator for the ramp instead. So this is rough. Probably not playing any of these. I guess I could just take an Isolate for the collection. I doubt I ever use it, but it's a rare, so I probably have like 4 copies of everything else here. Here we have a Naturalizer, a Giant Spider. Ranked draft is best of 1, so it is possible to just main deck Naturalize, but I don't really want to do that, because we are in green, so I can just pick a Reclamation Sage highly, and then I don't really feel that bad, so I'm going to pick up a Giant Spider. I'm going to pick up a Greenwood Sentinel, that's very nice. Putting Blanchwood Armor on Greenwood Sentinel is sick. I guess I could take a Foul Orchard here, just to have mana fixing in case, but I guess I don't want to have any lands that aren't just a forest. So I'll take a Recollect. I don't like that card very much, but if I end up having to get some more cards in here just to fill out the deck, then now I have the option instead of having to just put more forests in. So yeah, same thing with the Naturalize. It is a card I could put in here if I really need to, but I don't really want to. I'm not really a fan of the Transmogrifying one, but I've never played it. I've only like looked at it and been like, I don't know if that's so good. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take the Dryad Greenseeker here, because it's just great in this deck. Here we have a Declared Dominance, and I don't think I could take anything else. As fun as Runic Armosaur is, just being a 2/5 for 3, and Centaur Courser is okay, Declared Dominance is a game-winning spell, and it is a very nice pickup at this point in the draft. Vinemare, easy pick. Vinemare is insane. Blanchwood Armoring of Vinemare is awesome as well. Things are going quite well. I could pick up a Plummet just as like backup, but I don't know if I'm main decking it. Like, am I gonna play a Highland game if I draft it is the question. Which, like, I guess if I have to. I do have to put 5 more cards in here, so do I really want to end up having to put several situational cards in here to fill out the deck? I don't think so, so I'm actually just going to take the Highland game just because I need anything to fill out this deck, basically. At this point. Oh, man, we are getting cut hard. Wow. Maybe I end up having to just splash in blue a little bit. Don't want to do that at all. I'm not playing anything in this pack regardless, so we'll just take a Naturalize. Titanic Growth is a good pickup. That's definitely getting played in here. I need 3 more playable cards. Alright, Oakenform's playable. Centaur Courser's playable. And Thornhide Wolves is playable. Wow, that was really close. Yeah, because now we just get nothing that we're going to play. That was very close to having to make a pretty loose deck, but we got there. Every card in our deck is playable. For sure. We have a lot of 3-drops, but I like keeping it mono green for the double Blanchwood armor value. Yeah, I mean, I think I just run it like this. Yeah. If I lose to... I picked up 4 Naturalizes. If I lose to something that Naturalize would have killed, then that'll be a little bit sad, but I still am not a huge fan of main decking it. Just because I feel like the times that you'll have it and nothing to do with it are going to be more often than the times that it really saves you. I could be wrong there. Could be the wrong pick. Maybe I should take out, like, take out an Oakenform and throw in a Naturalize. That seems okay. But at the same time, Oakenform's pretty good on a Greenwood Sentinel. I could take out the Highland game and put in a Naturalize. But I do want to have a lot of creatures just so I always have something to enchant. But I guess I still do. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 creatures. Yeah, I don't know. It is possible that the correct choice is to take this Highland game out and put in 1 Naturalize, just in case, but it's not how I tend to play. Maybe we even put the Talons in this deck? Actually, I don't think we do, because our larger threats already have Trample. Well, our largest threats already have Trample. I guess it's pretty good on the Wolves. Yeah, I mean, I still just like running it as it is. If there's anything you would do differently, feel free to leave a comment about it, telling me how bad I am. Anyways, let's just get into round 1 with the mono green special and see how it goes. This hand's pretty sweet. This hand is pretty sweet. Turn 2, we can play the Dryad or the Druid. I think it depends on if we draw like a 6-mana card or a 7-mana card right now. I might just play the Druid immediately instead of the Dryad, but otherwise I'm just going to play the Dryad to draw cards. Alright, Dryad is here. Next turn I drop a Gear Per Guide and just start getting in there. Opponents is on the triple Vampire Neonate plan? Oh boy. Oh boy. Are we in danger? It's kind of hard to tell. Alright, my frame rate started going pretty poorly, so I was just making sure that my laptop is fully plugged in now. The cord is starting to mess up on me and die out, which is unfortunate. Alright, well, this could end very badly. A 3-2 is very good. Oh my god! A 3-2 is very good against... I can't speak. I'm so confused. A 3-2 is very good against a bunch of 0-3s, though. Alright, and a 1-3 is very good against a 2-1. This is insane. What is happening over here? I can also just use the guide's ability to make sure that literally, if I use this ability, none of their creatures can block. And I have Blanchwood Armor, so I could just Blanchwood Armor him and just start making him unblockable every turn. Seems pretty sick. Oh, that's a Blocker Worm. Do I want to play a Druid right now, or just Blanchwood Armor? I think I just want to Blanchwood Armor. I mean, they are black-white, so they could very much just have a murder, and then I'm sad. But that would happen regardless, and I don't think it's the end of the world if they murder my gear per guide, because then I just go into the Pelakka Worm plan. So yeah, I think I just start getting in there. Just Blanchwood Armor now, that way he has enough toughness to just get in there this turn. They almost definitely... Never mind. No blocks. Well, I guess when you have 5 cards on the field that all gain life, you're not insanely concerned about life total. I wonder if they're going to... I think I'm okay with them using a pump spell to kill my Green Seeker. Oh yeah, I'm tremendously okay with that. That card could have just... If I didn't blocked, it would have just killed the Green Seeker anyway, because they gain 2 life from hitting me. And they gain the 3rd life off the Nightmare's Thirst when they cast it, and then give it -3/-3. So that was a very good block. I am happy that that worked out how it did. Don't know why they're neonating me now. I guess because they have got nothing else to do. Which is good, that means they're almost definitely just dead. This is kind of a hard choice. I could play the Thornhide Wolves or the Druid. I guess that's not that bad of a choice. I'd probably just play the Druid to try and Pelakka Worm next turn, but if I play the Thornhide Wolves... I just make both my creatures this turn? Or, I make both my creatures unblockable next turn, and if I draw a forest next turn or the turn after, I still just play Pelakka Worm on turn 7? I think I'm just gonna attack first. And then drop ya boy. I guess the other reason to play Druid is I could have made him unblockable and played a Druid in the same turn. That actually would have been pretty nice. Alright, so they got the Aeromancer's Cage to kill that. That makes me pretty happy about the Wolves. I got my other threat out. And, I mean, that draw's pretty good. So if I draw a forest next turn, then things are going super well over here. Epicure of Blood. That's dangerous. With all those neonates. Alright. Well... They are at 13. They're going to gain a lot, though. We're going to go down to 7. I'm going to lose a life here. We're going to play a Druid. This is so silly, but I'm going to pump the Druid. That allows me to use all my mana this turn, and I have a 4/6 blocker for their Epicure, just in case they have some kind of life gain shenanigans to try to kill me. And this also spreads out my threats to 3 different threats instead of one really big one. Alright, so that's a Demon of Catastrophe, so I think that makes me just attack with the Dreadmont. Never mind. GG! Yep. Yep, there's the scoop. There's the scoop. I also could have just cast the Pelakka Worm and not attacked, because then I could just start attacking with Pelakka Worm the next turn after. But I guess in that scenario they just double block, and I'd lose my Worm for just the 6/6 anyway. So, there was an argument to just attack with the Dreadmaw and then cast the Pelakka Worm. Hopefully they just trade their 6/6 for my 6/6. And then Pelakka Worm gets in there. I don't know. That game went very well, but at the same time our opponent cast 4 copies of Vampire Neonate, so... We were probably going to win that game regardless. Yeah, I think this hand's okay. We get to play the Green Seeker, so if we don't end up getting enough lands this game, then we are very unlucky. Because any time that there's 2 lands on top, we get to draw both of them. If our deck is clumped up, it is very possible we just lose. Alright, but now we're at 3 mana, so we can cast most of the cards in our hand at this point. So I don't think we're in that bad of a spot. Opponent is on Boros, it looks like, so that is pretty terrifying. Rustwing Falcon. Are they going to Knight's Pledge it? Nope. Just the Falcon. Okay. I think I just play the Courser here. It uses all my mana, and it's not Oaken-forming the Dryad. So I like that. I'm going to do no attacks. We are going to try to draw land at the end of their turn. If I get a land, that's pretty nice, because then I get to drop this giant spider out, which will be even better now that they have double Falcon. So they are on the aggressive, which is fair. I mean, they're not going to block the 3/3. Yep, I'm going to draw that card. Greenseeker is so good. See, I just drew 2 cards this turn. Is that not sick? Yeah, I think I just play out the giant spider this turn. This is a little awkward if they like double Knight's Pledge somebody or something like that, but you can block something with Knight's Pledge on it and still survive, so I think the spider's relatively safe. Unless they like 2-for-1 themselves to kill it. That is a dangerous card. I could just declare dominance. Kill their giant and a falcon. I like that a lot. I think I'll probably do that. Very happy with these draws. Yeah, I'm going to declare dominance because then I just get to Dreadmaw. So yeah, I'm 2-for-2ing them, but I want to get rid of this giant, and I don't have any other removal spells. I've also drawn a million cards off this Greenseeker, so they have 1 card in hand, and I have like 5. So I don't see me losing this game, just thanks to all the card advantage I have here. You've got to block it with everything. So we're going to do 3 to that, and 2 to a Falcon. And then 1 to the last Falcon, I suppose. So I mean, they have a 1/2 flyer out, I have a 2/4 reach, they've got 2 cards in hand, I've got 5 cards in hand. Let's go. Let's draw a card here, hopefully. Yep. And we wouldn't be in nearly as good of a spot without this Greenseeker, because we did end up with a shit ton of lands on top. Yeah, I think I'm definitely on the aggressive at this point. I might as well just swing in with the spider. I am not worried about 1 damage. Drop a Dreadmaw. Maybe I should be playing like like super defensively. I don't know, but really don't think that this Rustwing Falcon is going to end up killing me. Alright, so there's the scoop from the opponent, because they know I just keep drawing a million cards. Very hard to win there for them. Greenseeker is busted. Alright, well that's 2 wins in. Let's see how far we get. Whew. 0 losses. I'm having fun. Mono green's great. I really liked the M10 draft format. They had a large uncommon sorcery in every color that cared about the number of basic land types that you had. So like, there was Howl of the Night pack in green, that was a 7 mana... I'm totally keeping this. It was a 7 mana sorcery, but you get a 2/2 wolf for each forest you control. I just love the cards like that incentivize you to play monocolored decks, because they're usually pretty strong. Because then in black there was Corrupt, deal damage to any target equal to the number of swamps you control, and you gain that much life. M10 was super fun to draft monocolored in. So I'm just dropping the Green Seeker, obviously, because what am I ramping into in this hand? Like, I'm not going to play the Druid and just be like, well, maybe I'll draw a really high mana card, see, because I'm just drawing lands anyway. So I'm going to drop the Druid. I'm not saving my mana for a Titanic Growth. I don't feel too worried about the Swift Claw that I'm going to waste a Growth on it. I might just trade it for my Druid, actually. Yeah, I think I'll trade it for my Druid. Actually, I should have used the Green Seeker's ability first to see what's on top, but regardless, let's just trade. So they got a Courser there. Let's see what's there. It's another land. Thank you, Dryad. I need out of this mess. I think I block in Growth now. And then if they have their own pump spell, that's really sad. But I mean, I'm like deaf losing if I let them just keep swinging at me right now. It's a giant spider. I guess that's okay. Druid of Horns. That makes me think they probably have a bunch of ores in their hand. They do that once and they get a 3/3 beast. This is a pretty loose play, but I don't want them to get a single 3/3. Like, literally, if they just played Talons of Wildwood this turn, I'd be in an insanely bad spot. Because then they'd have a 3/4 and a 3/3, and I'm just sitting here with my 1/3. Wow, these draws have been pretty loose. Pretty rough. Like, basically this whole game has just been me trying to stave them off until I can get any form of action, and all I've drawn is a giant spider. I mean, I have drawn Declare Dominance, which is action when you actually have creatures out. Otherwise, it's just a lone removal spell. So that's unfortunate. Satyr Enchanter. Yeah, I just don't... I don't see them not having an enchantment in that hand. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, well, there's a Vine Mare. It's not exceptional right now. I think we probably just lose this game, because I've drawn a whole bunch of lands and really didn't curve at all. I'm playing 4-drops on like turn 6, and now they've just gotten the Enchanter out. Yeah, I do not see how I could win this. I guess if they swing and I just get to trade my Vine Mare for that, that'd be nice. Nope, okay. Blanchwood Armor? It's mildly exciting. Let's go for it. They can't Aeromancer's Cage and Hexproof, dude. So they get to draw a million cards, so... Once again, like, having both of these out, it's insanely unlikely I win. But, at the same time, I've drawn a million lands, so I can just keep making this Vine Mare bigger, which is really cute. So, like, why not? Why not make the biggest Vine Mare I can make before I die? So if I can get a way to get rid of that Rocks Oracle, if I get, like... I don't know, I don't think I have a way to get rid of it. But it would be cool. Because then, if I get a Gear per Guide, I can just get in there. I guess my plan is to get the Vine Mare to 20 power, and then drop a Gear per Guide. That way the only creature they can block with is their Rocks Oracle, and that's how I kill it. Oh, now they have a Bristling Boar. So now that's a lot more loose. Unfortunate. Jesus Christ. Alright. That was a pretty good draw. Well, this game's ridiculous. We're both drawing multiple cards a turn. I mean, they're drawing way more than me. So I think they're just digging for like a declare dominance, and then I'm just straight dead. But if they don't have that kind of game-winning card, then they're just trying to get a big enough field. I forgot to use the ability. That was loose. That was really loose. Then they're trying to just get a big enough field to swing around my stuff, which is super possible. But if they don't, I mean, they're down to 14 cards in library already. Okay, there's a flyer. That is a problem. Yeah, I could have drawn that land if I had used the ability. But I was speaking, and multitasking is hard. Just trying to explain my plans and stuff. Okay, so I just get a wolf. So I could have just had a wolf last turn. That would have been super nice, but you know, you deal with what happens. Sometimes. I guess at this point I probably should have attacked with the Vine Mare. Yeah, this has been a kind of a loose game, but I think I just started playing really loose because I kind of just gave up. Which I guess I shouldn't, because there's always a chance. Like that. So what do I actually block here? So they send in with everybody. Block the boar with my 3/3. Block the 7/5 with my 2/2. Well, actually, let's just do the easy thing and count how many creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 creatures. I've got 6 to block. Yeah. I think that's fine. If they want to block it with a million creatures, that is A-okay with me. Okay. Okay, so now they have 8 creatures and I have 6 to block. I could win this game. I really should have been paying more attention and used my ability the right way. Because it does matter, because I could actually win this game. And they're down to 10 cards in deck. Again, the second that they declare dominance, I'm dead. And it's like super possible that they have that or just a similar card. And they have a whole lot. They have more turns to survive getting attacked by the Vine Mare than they have cards in their deck. And I forgot the Green Seeker again. Because I'm talking. I still like just chipping away one of their creatures every turn, just so they can't crack back super well. I've been very loose with this Green Seeker. I need, like, a die to put on top of my deck so I always remember to use my Green Seeker. You can't do that on Arena. It would be nice if I could, like, highlight this in rainbow colors that are, like, super flashy and, like, zooms in on it. Like, use the Green Seeker. You absolute fool. Alright, so here comes this. Okay. Yeah. Don't really know what they've got. Okay. Well. Oh! Oh! They're probably just gonna exile that dude now. because that one doesn't have hexproof. This deck is fun. Blanchwood Armor is a card. Talons on the bird. Knight's Pledge on the bird. Opponent is on it. Alright, well, I mean, I don't want to die this turn, so I'm going to block that, because then I just kill them on the crackback. Actually, I don't. They have to block both my, my duders. So I could still just die now, if they have, like, double pump spell. But it has trample, so I would have blocked... I blocked the most possible damage I could have blocked, which is 4. Alright, they have to kill me this turn. Let's find out what happens. And if I do lose this game, I am completely fine with taking the blame for not using my Green Seeker a couple times, because I would have gotten to the second Blanchwood Armor a lot faster. So it is completely my fault if I lose this game. I did play pretty loosely, just forgetting the Green Seeker's ability. Opponent has 3 cards left in their deck, so... If my opponent does have Declare Dominance, then that is very sad for our opponent. That is just... that is the bad beats. So, I mean, I swing it with everybody because they have to block the big guys, or they die. So I'm not worried about losing my littler creatures, because they can't just block and kill a littler creature without dying. You're gonna take 20 if you do that. I mean, that's fine with me if it's fine with you. You're gonna... Okay. Alright, they want to take 20 now, which is fair. I would probably want it to end as well. That was insane. I don't think I should have won that game. Opponent drafted a really synergistic deck and got the stuff out going. Even after I got rid of some of their... like parts of the combo chain. Like I got rid of their druid and they still just got insane card advantage out there with their enchantments. But it didn't matter because Blanchwood Armor is awesome. And Dryad Greenseeker. Very important to note, would not have won without that Dryad Greenseeker. Oh boy. Well, that's a mole. This is almost as bad. But I'll roll with it. Got a 3-drop and a 4-drop, and my 4-drop is a 2/4, so that blocks things. Okay, I'm super glad my opponent is not just curbing out on me real fast. They'll probably have a 3-drop. Yep, Pegasus Courser. I mean, I could play a Giant Spider to block that, or I could just go at it. Could just go for it. I'm going to play the Giant Spider, actually, because I can still attack this turn, and they might removal on the Giant Spider. If they have any removal, I don't want to Blanchwood Armor yet, and it's possible that they just use removal on Giant Spider. So they're playing Druid of Horns as well. Looks like that is the deck to play, it seems. Yeah, I mean, we'll just go for it. They... probably have the thing, but they kind of have to chump here, so it's not even a 2-for-1 anymore, it's a 1-for-1. Like, I trade my Centaur Courser for their Pegasus Courser, and they trade their removal spell for my Blanchwood Armor. That's a fine trade. Except for the fact that they have a lot more cards than me, since I had to mulligan. Which is rough. Or not a lot more, they have one more card than I had, because I had to mulligan, and I'm just drawing lands. So that sucks. So the Luminous Bonds is rough, but I can just blow it up with a Meteor Golem later and win out of nowhere, which I do like. Hopefully this game will last long enough for something like that to happen. Alright, now they just have a Daggerback Basilisk. So, no matter what, this Blanchwood Armor was not going to do a lot. Do you want to trade Basilisks? Hell yeah. Cool. Just thought I'd offer the trade, see how they feel about it. Oh, because they got a Dreadmaw. Fair enough. And I have a lot of creatures that big, but I'm just going to draw lands. Which is what this Greenseeker is really good at stopping. Alright, so I'm going to take 6 this turn. That's pretty bad. Oh my god. I have big creatures too. And if I can draw them, I will be fine. I don't know why you swung with the Falcon, but I'll take it. Gear per guide is not good at all here. I need some of my big boys, or Blanchwood Armor. Knight's Pledge on the Druid. I guess they get another dude if they do it that way. I probably would have just tossed it on a Dreadmaw at this point. Got more trample damage in so that like my opponent definitely dies in 2 turns. I still probably die. I mean, I'll block like this to kill that. I'll take 12. If they have Titanic Growth, I'm dead no matter what I do. Now there's like almost nothing that wins me the game, but... Okay, well now I'm just screwed. Yeah, this is unfortunate. There is a Blanchwood Armor. But I cannot draw 2 cards this turn, so I can only block one of their things. Well, that was sad. That was a pretty sad way to lose. We mulled into a hand that had very little action, and then drew a bunch of lands without even, like, having a Greenseeker. So yeah, that was awkward. To be fair, our start in the round before was pretty awkward as well, and we turned that into a win, so you never know. Alright, this hand is great. Actually, it's... The curve is 2-drop into 4-drop, but it's Greenseeker. We have won every game that we had Greenseeker out with. Opponent mulled to 5, that is rough for our opponent, but necessary for me to win it all because this hand is very slow. And I could just continue with the bad luck draws. It is possible. Am I just gonna die to this fast shit? From the mold of 5? Here's the Greenseeker. Revitalize, okay. Fountain of Renewal. What is my opponent's deck? Interesting. They probably have a bunch of the stuff that triggers off life gain, I'm guessing. Okay. My draws have been really good this game. My first draw, I was getting spooked, but yeah, I've drawn super well. Let's be honest here. They're just going to sack that to draw a card. Yep, fair enough. They probably need a swamp or something. Or just... maybe they just want more land? Don't really know what they're playing. They could be on that mono-white, just a Johnny's Pridemate plan. So I can play some big wolves. Alright, I am not very scared, so I'm sending in the 1/1. Their start was scary, but... like, turn 2 I was scared, because they went 1-drop into 2-drop, and both of them were mildly aggressive. Okay, so they're white-green. They got their Chaplain, which is nice. And Luminous Bonds on the 4/5. Unfortunately for my opponent, I have... okay, I have 2 better creatures in my hand. I was going to say 3, but I was like, nah, Meteor Golem's just expensive. Once he's on the board, he doesn't do very much. Ooh, Oakenform. So I got 5 mana, so I can play the Vine Mare. Or I could tap the Greenseeker right now. Is this Greenseeker blocking anything? I guess not. Elvish Rejuvenator's just going to block the Drill Master. And Vine Mare can block the Chaplain. Wow. Alright, so it's not a land on top, so I guess... Could declare dominance and kill both those dudes. Yeah. They've got no other cards in hand, so... I might as well 2-for-1 them. I guess this is just 2-for-2, but they have 0 cards in hand. So I can make their field just a Rustwing Falcon, and I like that. So, oh wait, it's not a 2-for-2. I get to keep my Rejuvenator. Nice. All right. Well, opponent had the Multi-5, and I have the Green Seeker out. So I think I am fine. So this is kind of a silly play, but I think it's the best play because I do want to play the Druid this turn, and I still want to try to kill them before they really draw anything. So we're making our 1/1 a 4/4 instead of anything super terrifying with the Oakenform. Satyr Enchanter from our opponent. It is a bit too late to do anything nice off that. There's a land. Next turn I just drop Palaka Worm and my opponent cries on the inside. Yep, seems correct. So opponent could still win. They could top deck Luminous Bonds into another Luminous Bonds or something like that, and that would be pretty gas. But I did have even more threats, and I had a Hexproof one with Vine Mare that I could eventually just get a Blanchwood Armor and kill them with. Just a really rough game for opponent. They had to mull pretty aggressively. So that is 4 wins and 1 loss in. The Mono Green special is going super well. I am a fan. Man, this just brings me back to the early days. The first set that I ever drafted a lot, my very first draft was Alara block. So, I mean, that was insane. But I only drafted it one time. The first set that I ever, like, hardcore drafted was right after Alara Reborn. Was M10. Because I went to, I believe it was DragonCon 2009. Because my family went there on a trip to go check out all the panels and stuff, and I figured out that there was a room that was just consistently firing Magic events, and I was like, this is all I'm doing. This is all I'm doing. And I stayed in the room, in the convention hall or the hotel or whatever it was, that was just a room of a bunch of tables, a bunch of people playing Magic all the time, and they had drafts of whatever format you wanted that was recent firing all the time. So I just drafted M10 like, I think like 6 times, which doesn't actually sound like that much, but I mean, I was at DragonCon, so I actually did do a little more than just draft, but I drafted the shit out of M10, and I loved that set because I would always like first pick Howl of the Night pack and just draft every green card I saw. So playing mono green and draft for cards like Blanchwood Armor, it brings back those memories for me, and I enjoy it a lot. Actually, I'm completely fine if they want to trade their Enchanter for my Highland Game. Highland Game is not that scary. I was thinking about Oakenforming there, that way they couldn't even trade, but then I'm like, wait a sec, what am I doing? Satyr Enchanter is far better than Highland Game. If they get forced into a situation where they have to kill their Enchanter, I am perfectly fine with trading my Elk for it. Rabid Bite. Alright, so they get to get rid of one of my dudes. If they are planning on not blocking, then they might as well attack, and they did. So, yeah, let's put the pressure on. Put you to 5. Could have put it on the Courser, but I'm more scared of something like a Luminous Bonds than a large creature. Because for 5, biggest creature they probably get is a 4/5, which just trades with the Highland game now, so that's fine. Evoke the Divine. Destroy the enchantment in game 4. Alright, well that's definitely a little more main deckable than just Naturalize, but I still don't super like it. I guess literally, not literally, the vast majority of the decks I've played against today have been Satyr Enchanter decks. So, Naturalize would have been a good main deck, but I didn't know that the format would have degenerated into 2 decks, Boros and Satyr Enchanter. I had no idea. I'm doing it wrong. I'm not playing a Satyr Enchanter. I think I would have rather just had a Forest than the Sentinel. I really want to hit 7 here. If I hit 7, things are spicy. So it looks like we just don't get to attack each other anymore. He gets to attack me with the Knight of the Tusk. So I'm going to start slowly dying to that Knight until I can play anything. Declare Dominance! I'm going to start quickly dying to the Knight. Pretty spicy. How clutch would a Titanic Growth have been there? I say that, and now I'm going to draw a Titanic Growth, I swear to God. Okay. It wouldn't even have been that clutch, actually. I didn't do the math right. Their thing still would have had 1 toughness left. I want a forest, can I please get a forest? That'd be nice. That'd be sexy as hell. Got a Titanic Growth? Nope. Alright, but now they're down to just 3/7, hopefully. Okay, sick. So even if they remove Pelakka Worm or Luminous Bonds it or whatever, that is fine, because I still gained 7, so I'm back to 20. If they use any enchantment-based removal, I'm just going to Meteor Golem the enchantment next turn. And if it's the one that exiles it until it leaves the battlefield, I just get to gain 7 more life. And if they use non-enchantment-based removal, I just get to draw a card, so this is pretty sick. Guess they could Titanic Growth, and that'd be a little sad, but I get to draw a card. I have my 7 mana now, so I have a Meteor Golem backup and a Vine Mare as my next threat. So Titanic Growth is completely fine with me. They trade 1 for 0, because I'm drawing a card, so it's like I'm going up a card. But at the same time, it's a Pelakka Worm, which is big body, so it's a good card. Oh, hell yeah. What you gonna do about this? Have fun with that one, opponent. I don't know why I got all sing-songy there. I'm just really excited. This is a great deck. It's mono green. And there's the scoop. Woo! That was a sick draw off the death of our Pelakka Worm. Our wormy friend died, but we made the best of it and rested inside its corpse in the snow. That was a kind of messed up analogy. I don't know why I said that. Let's just head into the next round. I think we are 5 wins and 1 loss. 4 wins and 1 loss. One of those. A pretty good record. Very happy with my record after how Ravnica Allegiance has went for me so far, which is terribly. Those videos are up on the channel. There's the sealed and the draft, both of which I think was like a 2-win and then a 1-win was my record. Pretty sad. This hand's pretty good. Ramp up into the 4/5, and then Blanchwood whatever has managed to stay on the board after all their removal spells. Oh my god, am I ever going to not play against white? Probably not. Also, am I ever going to not play against Rustwing Falcon? Everybody and their Rustwing Falcons. Love it. Ooh, Johnny's Pridemate. That's not good. That's terrifying. That card is disturbingly good in the right deck. Yeah, so I think I dropped the Gear Per Guide and dropped the Wolves next turn. And hopefully They don't have any life gain yet. Alright. Falcon's getting in there. Nothing from our opponent. No plays. Happy with that. I'm going to send in the guide. Like, they could revitalize, but then we still just trade. So, sick. Here is the wolves. The threat has been established. Do you have an answer to threat number 1? I could Blanchwood Armor and Titanic Growth, and then I'm swinging for 12? Oh boy. I mean, it's probably not the right play to just Blanchwood Armor the already massive guy. But at the same time, I'm swinging for big boy damage. Yeah. Fuck it. Big boy damage. Fuck it. We're going for the kill. Are we just gonna trade there? Am I fine just trading there? Costs 5 mana to give the Knights double strike. And they'll still have the 3/4 out to block, so I think I'm fine just trading there. Do I want to 12 them, though? 12 them, put them to 5. I think I'll just drop the Highland game, save the growth for later. So, that almost definitely means they got a removal for the wolves? Oh, nope. Alright. I was wrong. I thought maybe they would chump the wolves with the Pride Might instead. But I guess now they can just chump with the Falcon. Or the Bugler. Which is marginally better. So that's a soldier, so it's not getting any advantage from that guy. Alright, so they're sending in the 3/4. They're probably chumping with the Falcon. I would assume. Here's another forest, just to make him mildly larger. Alright, so they can't let this through or they die. I think I send in the Highland game too and just try and kill all their dudes. Let's just get rid of all the homeboys. Yeah, I think it was very obvious to our opponent that we had a Titanic Growth there. Here's Basilisk. So that is the other reason to play it, is I really telegraphed it earlier. They might have a Naturalize now, that would suck. Alright, so they have a Highland game, that's a really good chump blocker. But now I get to attack with Wolves and Daggerback. They need 5 mana to give that double strike. They're going to Banefire the Daggerback, so I don't get to attack with that anymore. They're still swinging in. Interesting. They're going aggro with it. Alright, well, we get to keep them at 9 life, because they're going to gain 2 life off the Highland Wield and then take 2 damage off the Highland game, not Highland Wield. I'm getting confused with my cards. And here's a Dreadmaw. Here's a Dreadmaw to block that Knight. That way they need a removal spell and a pump spell to kill me. I think their plan might have been Titanic Growth and double strike that once I leave no blockers back, which would have been an exciting way to lose, but I probably would have been mad. Luckily did not lose there. We are at 6 wins. That is 850 gems and a pack. Nice. Alright. Can I get a 7-win run in a draft? That would be awesome. If I could, I think this is the deck to do it. It is awesome. It has so many of the really high-value cards that you want, like the Green Seeker, the Vine Mare, the Declare Dominance, the Palaka Worm. I like this deck a lot. It is slightly held together by, like, duct tape, in terms of, like, just cards like the Highland game. Surge Mare is exceptionally good against my deck. Good old color hosers. Remember when Wizards said they didn't want to make color hosers anymore? Tolarian Scholar. 3 mana, 2/3. Let's go. Ya boy is here. So, I'm just gonna Blanchwood Armor and go at it. Because I feel like if they have removal, it's like a Rabid Bite or a Dwindle, both of which I can get out of eventually. They want to take 5. Hell yeah, we got to do 5. However, they could just have a bounce spell, which is sad, but they are heavy blue, it looks like. So there will never be a good time to play Blanchwood Armor if they have bounce spells. Except maybe on a Vine Mare, but then I could swing with the Vine Mare and they could bounce the Blanchwood Armor and block in order to kill the Vine Mare so that I no longer have a hexproof creature. So, yeah, blue's just a pretty good matchup against enchantments. Because bouncing things just gets way better if there are auras attached to them. So next turn I get to drop Giant Spider, so that's cool. In case they got some little flyers, but I assume they probably only have big ones because they haven't played one yet. Nothing from our opponent. They probably have Bone to Ash to counter a creature and draw a card. So it might be worth it to just not play anything this turn. Oh, they're just going to spend all their mana to do the 2-for-2? I should have done the math. I completely forgot about the Surge Mares thingy. Well, that's rough. That's a 2-for-2. But more importantly, it got rid of my threat that might have been the only way that they had to get rid of it. Explosive Apparatus, okay. Well, I will just keep playing things that are too big to die to that. I guess I'll play a Highland game before I play the guide. That way, maybe they'll shoot the Highland game. Probably just save this guide to be like a 6-mana target creature can't be blocked this turn thing. Okay, well... I really don't want to sandbag the guide, but at the same time, all it does is they just spend 3 and kill it. So let's get them to kill the guide. Yep, or the game. So next turn I can play the guide if I have nothing better to play, and it actually gets to survive and do things. There's a Dreadmaw. That is unfortunate. Let's just go. Maybe I can kill them just by having too many creatures? If they don't play another creature or a bounce spell or anything, then they're dead next turn, because I can get through for 3, 6, 7. Or 3, 6, 8. And if they play smaller creatures, they are also dead next turn. Actually, not true, because I'd have to give 4 things unblockable. Alright, so there's a 3/5, and another Explosive Apparatus. Well, that sucks. That sucks pretty badly. Not much to do here. Opponent is on blue-green artifacts? With Tolarian Scholar? I'm gonna be kind of sad if this is the deck that I lose to, but I think it might be the deck that I lose to. Dwindle. Dwindle is here. That's pretty bad. I'm gonna lose to this deck. I'm gonna just draw straight lands now. Could sacrifice my Courser to do 2 damage to them. I don't think that's very good. Okay, they gave their Dreadmaw double trample. I can respect it. I can respect it. Yes! It's gonna be a decent bit harder to lose now. Palaka Worm coming in clutch. Come on, homie. I believe. I believe in you. Don't don't just get like water knotted. I don't even think there's a water knot effect in this format. Water knot is an enchantment that just taps it down forever. Alright. You want to trade worms, boy? You want to trade worms, boy? This is kind of an even trade because, okay, they really want to make sure it's dead. It's kind of an even trade because it's like we both draw a card. They get to draw their talons back. But more importantly for me, I get a 7/7 off the board so that it's more likely I get to go at them for 7. Ooh, Blanchwood Armor. I'm not going to cast that yet. Just in case they have something sorcery speed to deal with it. Which I think is pretty unlikely, but who knows. So I have 10 forests, so I can make my Thornhide Wolves in 8, 13, and then I have 3 creatures, which might probably actually be the best play. That was a really good draw for opponent. It was a blue permanent, and it let them draw a card, thanks to them having Gearsmith Guardian. Whatever I put Blanchwood Armor on, they have to block or they die. I don't think I'm gonna attack with multiple creatures this turn. So I send that in. They chump with the 3/2. If I send the other 2 in, I'm still doing that same thing where I'm trading my Centaur Courser for 2 damage to their face, which I still don't think is good, so we're just sending the Wolves in. So yeah, the reason I put it on the Wolves is because no matter what I put it on, 1 shot to them and they're dead. So it doesn't matter if my other stuff could get bigger than that. And this way, if they have any kind of bounce spells to get rid of the armor, they also get rid of the Dwindle. And also this way lets me have 3 creatures with power to be attacking, instead of just 2. So here we go. We're gonna do the same thing. Here's a Druid. You gonna counter my Druid? Bone to Ash on the Druid! I would have made the same play. They have to draw an out here. Not trying to say that was a loose play. That was perfectly reasonable. Opponent recasts Talons on their Guardian. And I think I just win. And without, I just put them to 2. Ooh! Alright. Well, now I know what's in their hands, so I know that they just go down to 2 here. They just trump and go to 2. Very nice scatter from opponent. They definitely would have died without that. Which they probably still die, because I don't think there's a green or a blue Wrath of God in this M set. M19? I think it's M19. Alright, well, sorry, there was just a little bit of shock there that I actually won something. Got a Slippery Scoundrel. There we go! That is a 7-win, 1-loss Core Set 2019 draft with Mono Green, the best cards deck. Vine Mare, Declared Dominance. Blanchwood Armor is probably really the... that was the main card in the deck, was the double Blanchwood Armor. Palaka Worm is super sick as well. Let's go ahead and open these packs for anyone who's interested. I got a Uncommon Wildcard. That is super good. Uncommon Wildcards are great. Any wildcard is great, let's be honest. And some pretty crappy rares. But thank you everybody for watching. I got a lot of gems out of that, so that was super worth it. Yeah, I'll see you all next time for another draft of some form, or if they put any other weird, wacky formats on here, I'll definitely try them out and throw up some videos of them. Thank you all for watching. That was super fun. Mono Green Blanchwood Armor deck. I'll see you all next time.